In today's video, we'll be doing a head-to-head comparison with Grok 3, ChatGPT's o1, Claude Opus, Qwen, and DeepSeek. We'll be comparing and assessing some of the key features. We'll be addressing which one of these AI models is the best. Most importantly, which one of these AI models is the best based upon your specific use case. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing we can talk about, which I don't think necessarily is the most important, is pricing. But the great thing about competition is that competition drives down pricing, and we've seen this with AI models. Now that there's a lot of models in which you choose from, it's relatively free and inexpensive to use models. Some of them are open source, while some of them are closed. So for example, Grok 3 is the latest and newest and one of the better models to come out, and it is free to use. So it is rate limited per day, but you have access to all of the features, including the ability to do deep research, the ability to think, attach images, and you can also generate images or attach files also, but you can also generate images in Grok 3 and you can use it on x.com for a completely free sign up. Claude Opus is also freemium. ChatGPT's o1 is also freemium, which allows you to use it for completely free, and you have a rate limit per day. While these limits can be more or less depending on the model, at least you can use it for free. And these models are all closed, so that means they're not open source. So Grok, ChatGPT, and Claude. Now we have some better open source model. I'm sure we've all heard of DeepSeek, which is one of the latest models from a Chinese startup. And this is open source and much more inexpensive in comparison with ChatGPT, in comparison with Grok and Claude. And that's especially true when you're using the API. So if you are a developer and you're building, then DeepSeek might be a much more inexpensive option for you. We also have Qwen. Qwen is a open source chatbot that came out from Alibaba. And again, it's very similar. You can use it for completely free. You have access to web search. You have access to image generation, even video generation as well. Artifacts, which allows you to build custom coding and whatnot. You can create images, code, make plans, and so forth, and upload images, and even upload files as well. So you have a lot of features included in these models. So again, if you're a developer, you would probably prefer Qwen, or you probably prefer DeepSeek, as these are open source models that are much more inexpensive, and they're also free to use if you're just a user, a consumer. It's very easy to use, and you have much more of a higher rate limit compared to, let's say, ChatGPT, Claude, and Grok. Now let's talk about some specific features. In Grok 3, we have the ability to do deep research, which actually searches the web. So on ChatGPT, we have that available in the O3 model, I believe. If you go to O3, we can actually search the web along with our search. So we do have that available, but that's available in one of their higher models. I believe you need to upgrade in order to be able to get access to this model. That will be $20 per month. If I head over to Claude, unfortunately, I do not think Claude has the ability to search the web as of yet. So we do not have the ability to do live searching on any of Claude's plans. If I head over to Qwen, which is from Alibaba, again, as you can see, we have the ability to do live searching on the web. Questions there, and we also have the ability to do that in DeepSeek. DeepSeek sometimes gives me some issues logging in, but we do have the ability to deep research on DeepSeek. On the topic of web searching, it's important to talk about which model has the latest knowledge cutoff. So that means that up to when these models are trained on. And I've done some research, and it seems as though DeepSeek is trained up to July of 2024. So that means it will understand everything up to 2024 of July. Grok is trained on October or July also of 2024. So again, anything after that, it will not know. So if I ask it, what is the latest Apple model to come out, iPhone model in 2025, it will not be able to tell me that. O1 is October 2023, which is actually less and the least amount of information that it knows compared to all of these other models. So Claude is August of 2023 and Qwen is September 2024. So we see that there's a couple of models like Grok and DeepSeek and Qwen that is 2024, which is more updated, while ChatGPT and Claude are a little bit older in terms of their knowledge cutoff. But at least the benefit is that we have web searching on ChatGPT, while we do not have that on Claude. Now let's talk about some other features, which is image generation. So we have the ability to generate images right within the model of Grok. So if I'm writing, let's say, some text, I can then tell it to create an image based on the text, and I can do it right within that specific that specific model. I don't have to change and use a different feature to do so. I can do the same thing with ChatGPT. So if I can tell it to create an image based on this, and sometimes it works. It really depends on the model in which you're on. I think you have to use the 4O model to be able to generate the image within that, but at least you have the ability to generate images within the model. You can also use Dolly 3. On Claude, we do not have the ability to generate images as yet. While we do have the ability to generate images within the Qwen model, we do have to do it in a separate tab. So I have to then go, if I want to generate text, I can generate text. But if I want to generate images, I have to go into a different tab and generate an image. You have the ability to do so, but it's not all within one place. It's not multimedia like Grok and ChatGPT. And DeepSeek also has the ability to generate as well. In terms of coding, as we can see on ChatGPT, they actually have different GPTs in which you could use to help you with coding. So I like that ChatGPT has this marketplace, which essentially gives you preset and predefined GPTs in which you can use for a specific use case. While on Grok, when I read their release, it did say that it's very, very capable of coding. So all you would have to do is essentially paste in your code or ask it any questions. It will be able to give you those outputs right within the Grok interface. But there's not necessarily a coding assistant like we have. I can use the Canvas mode to collaborate on writing and code, and that will allow me to then sort of have a interface which I can use for coding. I also have that ability on Claude. Claude is said to be really, really good at coding. So I can create an artifact and I can then go ahead and start my coding in there as well. On Qwen, let's go ahead and see what we have here. So again, we have artifacts. So artifacts will allow you to then visually code, visually see the work in which you're doing. While on DeepSeek, we don't have the ability to use keys or maybe artifacts, but we definitely can still code by using the chatbot interface. And again, that's because it's fairly new. I'm sure they will be releasing a lot more features. That's in comparison to ChatGPT, which has been in development and in on the market for such a long time. Now, in terms of output quality, I think that this is very, very subjective. From my testing, Grok 3 is really, really good. It's very smart at understanding your inputs and giving you very, very good outputs. I find it very intelligent when I was using it, and I find it to be one of the better models in comparison to O1. The problem with DeepSeek is that it's sort of hard sometimes to get in, and it's very overloaded in terms of people using it. So getting the ability to use all of its features, sometimes we don't, I'm not able to do so. I'm not able to use the search or Deep Think R1 to really see the power of DeepSeek. So it makes the process a little bit harder to get my outputs. I've been testing Qwen and I think it's pretty good as well, and I'll continue to test it. But from my initial testing, I would say Grok definitely number 1 or number 2, while we have O1 from ChatGPT sort of rivaling Grok. Claude used to be really, really good in terms of outputs, but I find that they've gotten a lot worse, and I don't think that they've kept up with development. So I use it much. But right now, my top models are definitely O1, and my new top model is Grok 3. I've been using it a lot more, and I really, really like output. Very easy to use, and everything sort of all in one place. Again, if you're looking for a really robust, intelligent, new tool in which you can use, I would definitely recommend Grok 3. But if you're looking for a solid, well-tested AI model with a lot of different features, the ability to use keys, the ability to search the web, and essentially everything that you need in one place, then I would recommend ChatGPT O1. If you're looking for more open source and an ineffective model to build on, then I would recommend DeepSeek or Qwen. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I will see you in the next one. Take care and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Which one of these models is the best?